how are you? Welcome to the channel. I'm so sorry that I keep abandoning you. I don't mean to do it, but this is just my second channel and I've been doing mostly stuff on my main channel, but I still like doing stuff here, so yes, I'm back. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Cassandra, and in this channel, I just do stuff to entertain myself and put it on the internet for my entertainment and yours. If that tickles your pickle, then go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Today I want to do another Reddit video, and I'm going to look on the subreddit advice. So let's go ahead and take a look. When I opened up this page, the second the first unpinned post looked quite interesting. Boyfriend peed on me in front of his parents. What in the hell is that gonna be? Let's see. What advice can I give? Is it big enough? Okay. Boyfriend peed on me in front of his parents. I'm on a family vacation with my boyfriend and his family. Note, my relationship with my boyfriend is already on the rocks. It's the third day of the trip and the family decided to rent a 4-person catamaran. I actually don't know what that is. What's a catamaran? Catamaran is a multi-hulled watercraft. I don't know what hull is either. Featuring 2 parallel hulls of equal size. It's a geometry stabilized craft, deriving its stability from wide beam rather than from blah blah. Let me just see a picture. What's a picture of it? Oh, reject. Oh, okay, so it's a big ass boat basically. A big ass boat. Awesome. Okay. So we decided to rent a 4-person catamaran. We get on the catamaran at 1 p.m. for a quick ride. Me, my boyfriend, my boyfriend's mum and dad. My boyfriend took his penis out of his swimming trunks and began urinating on my leg in front of his parents because he thought it was funny. How old are these people? Oh my God. No, we've never done this before. His parents flat out laughed in my face along with him. I was a joke to them. I enter fight or flight mode while on the catamaran in the middle of the ocean. We get to shore and I storm off and told my boyfriend I wanted to drown myself in the ocean because of what he had just done to me. I'm stuck here for a few days and don't have any money to go home, so I have to stick this out. What do I do? How can I cope? That's interesting, right? So the incident itself is obviously like pretty horrifying, right? Like it doesn't have any indication here of how old these people are or the pronouns of OP, so I'm gonna call them as usual. So OP's boyfriend just whips his dick out on a boat with his parents, starts peeing on OP's leg. I mean, that is really fucking weird. I wonder how long they've been together though, that OP doesn't realise that this is the boyfriend's sense of humour and the kind of thing that he and his parents think are funny. I mean, I would guess that since they're all on the family trip together, that they've been together for a reasonable amount of time, that they feel reasonably comfortable with each other. So I'm surprised that OP, doesn't think that this is just within their normal thing. I'm surprised also that the parents were like so humoured by it, but fair enough, if that's your family dynamic, if you find that kind of thing entertaining, then whatever. From the OP's perspective, I would definitely be like, what the fuck? Why did you just pee on my leg? That is absolutely disgusting. I would want to wash it the fuck off. And then the boat would have piss on it, so someone would have to clean that up, right? So from that perspective, I wouldn't be happy. I would be like, what the fuck? Can you not do that again? Also, I have chronic eczema, so my skin is irritated enough as it is. Like, don't fucking do that. But at the same time, I personally wouldn't take it so seriously. So what is it OP says? His parents laughed in my face and I was a joke to them. Now, I personally think that OP is taking this a little bit too personally. I think if OP had been anyone else with a similar sort of closeness level, like a best friend or, old friend from school, and boyfriend had pissed on them, I think it would be the same situation. I don't think they're specifically laughing at OP and being like, haha, look at how stupid OP is. I don't think that it's that at all. I think they're just laughing at this stupid thing that the boyfriend did. But don't get me wrong, I understand how in the moment it can feel very personal, especially if like the relationship is already on the rocks. They're having to go on this trip with the family, family of the boyfriend and not of the OP. So they're maybe like a little bit out of their comfort zone, feeling a little bit trapped in the middle of the ocean. So I can understand how in that sort of environment they take it like more personally and they feel more humiliated, which isn't cool. And again, if they know each other well enough to go on a family holiday together, I would expect boyfriend to know OP well enough to understand that that's not the kind of thing that they would appreciate. Yeah, I told my boyfriend I wanted to drown myself in the ocean. I think that's a bit much, to be honest. But again, you know, different people are different personality types, whatever. I think that's a bit of an extreme reaction, but again, I understand that they feel stuck there and they're not entertained at all. What do I do? How can I cope? It's one of these things that sounds easier than it actually is. To just like take a bit of time to yourself, recenter, just be like, you know what, that was just a stupid fucking thing they did. Once I get home, maybe I break up with them then. Do you know what I mean? Because it sounds as if you're not having a good time anyway. But I would just be, you know, like, you know what, fuck it. I'm already here on a big ass boat in the middle of the ocean. I'll just enjoy my time here, whether it's with the other people or apart from them, or kind of like socializing a little bit, but spending most of the time by yourself. You know, there's no reason to ruin the entire rest of the trip based on that. Because in the end, like, you're not really getting anyone back, you know, you're not sort of punishing the boyfriend or the parents by like being in a mood and having like a terrible time. Not that I think trying to punish them is the healthy thing to do, but what I'm trying to say is there's no benefit to you just remaining super pissed off and like having an awful time. Just be like, you know what, fuck it. I'll be annoyed when I get home and I can do something about it, but right now I can't. So let me just put that on pause, enjoy the rest of my time here. Then when we get back on land, I'm gonna go storm off. That would be my advice. As I say, I know it's much easier said than done, but that's certainly what I would try and do in that situation. What else do we have here? What else? Let's see. My partner tried to do something with our nanny, and I don't know what to do about it. Oh, this doesn't sound good. Let me see. I don't know if I want to do that one. It seems super serious. Oh no. 16 female dealing with a man persistently approaching me during walks. Oh, I don't like that one either. Like, serious topic, and I haven't been here in so long. I want to keep it light, but not to like put down the seriousness of this or anything. You know what I mean, right? You know what I'm getting at. Oh shit. Woman I had a one night stand with told me she's pregnant. Just reading the edit here. Okay, for the drama, what is this? I feel like this ain't gonna be good. Jesus Christ. Okay, is this big enough? Yeah. A woman I had a one night stand with told me she's pregnant. By the time we were getting here, the OP's already said that they're taking her for the abortion. I just don't know if I can support her emotionally. She's not a helpless child. She's at least 35. I'm helping her make the appointment and driving her to it. Okay, now let's get into the meat of the story. A couple of months ago, I went out with some friends and had too much to drink. I was drunk and high and dancing, and I ended up dancing with this girl. I was wasted, so I let her use my card to get us a hotel room because I lost my friend's. What, you lost your friend's card? What? Anyway, and didn't know what else to do. Okay, so maybe they were out and they were staying in a hotel with their friends, but they couldn't find that card, so they got another room instead? I don't know. Anyway, I don't remember much of what we did, but I know we had sex. Today, how long ago? A couple of months ago. Today, she asked if I would call her, and she was crying and saying she's pregnant, and it might be mine, that it could be one other person's, a friend she hooked up with a couple of times, but that he won't talk to her. Okay, that's scummy. She says she's scared and wants an abortion, but don't know how to get one done. Okay, so that gives a bit more context to that edit. She wanted the abortion. I told her to call the doctor or go to a walk-in, and she started sobbing. I don't really want to go with her or anything because I don't know her at all. Do I owe it to her? just to answer that question straight away, it's not about owing her. I don't like that phrase, owing someone. It implies negative transactional things, but on a moral, ethical level, it is the right thing to do to help her and support her in this moment. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that it was a one-night stand, like you barely even remember what happened, it may not even be yours, but you know what? Like, regardless of the state that you were in when you had a one-night stand, you have to take responsibility for it, for your actions, your consequences. You need to see that shit through. So it's good then that they said that the OP is taking her for the abortion. They just don't know if they can support her emotionally. She's not a helpless child. Yeah, but dude, like, if you've ever been in a fucking situation where you're having to decide whether or not to have an abortion, it's not about whether or not you're a child. It's about that this thing that you didn't intend to happen to your body is happening to your body. What are you going to do about it? What's that process, that procedure going to be like? How's it going to be for you emotionally? And then a lot of men don't know this, but for a woman who's had an abortion, then every single time basically that she goes to a doctor, especially a new doctor, they're going to ask her, have you ever had an abortion? So if that's going to be an upsetting, traumatic experience for the person, they're going to be reminded of it constantly for the rest of their life. It is not a small thing. Absolutely, emotional support is required there, especially given that she's asking for it. Now, if she had said, just to let you know, I'm pregnant, it might be yours, I'm having an abortion, don't worry, don't want or need you to do anything, I just thought I should tell you, fine, fair enough. But she clearly, you know, she said that she's scared and she doesn't know how to go about getting an abortion. I think, so the OP has said, I don't really want to go with her or anything because I don't know her at all. Whilst I appreciate the honesty here, too bad. Again, you have to take responsibility there. You presumably had unprotected sex. This potentially is a consequence of that. As like a fellow human being, it is the right thing to do to go with her and provide her with some sort of emotional support. It's not really about knowing her, it's about being there for her, like literally physically being there for her, so she doesn't have to physically go through that experience by herself, travel there on her own, like, you know, driving when she's in a state, being on public transport, sobbing her eyes out, being in a taxi, sobbing her eyes out, being dropped off outside the clinic, wondering if people are judging her, you know what I mean? Just on that basis, it's the right thing to do to go and support her. So I'm glad that OP has said that they will go with her, and it's okay to say, I don't know whether I'll be able to provide the right support or enough support. I don't know if I'm able to, but I'm going to try. I think that is the main thing, that you at least try and that you don't sort of dismiss it and be like, well, that's not my problem, deal with it on your own, or, oh, isn't there someone else you can go with? No, at least fucking try, because judging from the post, this is what the pregnant lady has asked for. Good as well that OP has helped or is helping to make the appointment and will drive her there. That's good. I'm hoping they'll stay there as well, at least in the clinic, and drive her home as well. Again, I feel like that's the right thing to do. That was quite serious as well, wasn't it? But I kind of gravitate to these ones that are have a slight bit of drama to it. Okay. What else do we have here? Oh my god, I'm like going through them so quick today. Usually I spend ages just on one. What else have we got? Oh shit, 13-year-old at home staying with 19-year-old friend. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this one. Let me keep scrolling. What would you tell someone who just fucked up in a major life-changing way and it's now starting to sink in? I'm intrigued. What's this? Okay, what would you tell someone who just fucked up in a major life-changing way and it's just now starting to sink in? I have questions already, but let's read. Hi guys, strike through folks. I can't really get into the details, but it's over for me. Oh shit. It's been 3 hours since the incident. Oh my god, is it like a crime or something? My wife should be home in about 30 minutes and I'll have to explain everything to her. Okay, so it seems like OP is the one who's fucked up. I'm definitely about to lose my job if I don't go to prison. We have one 13-month-old son and I've taken him to stay with my parents. This is bad. This is big. I don't know what to do or how to feel. Nothing seems real. I've been touching and picking things up to make sure I'm not dreaming. I have a vague feeling that right now is a critical time and I should be preparing myself for what's coming up, but I can't do anything. I literally can't do anything except walk around confusedly and pick things up. What do I do? Shit. I mean, there's not a lot of details here, so it's hard to give specific advice. But yeah, this sounds really fucking serious. Like a major crime. Shit. Okay, so what are my thoughts on this? Judging from the post, it seems like OP clearly knows that they have fucked up and that it's not just going to affect them, it's also going to affect their family. They've already taken their young son to go stay with someone else, which I think is the best thing to do in this kind of situation. They're obviously not in a good place. They're obviously, you know, freaking out quite a bit themselves. And they're saying that once their wife gets home, they will have to explain everything to her. So the good thing, I guess, is that this person is still still thinking clearly enough that they say, okay, protect my child in the first instance, take them out of any potentially dangerous situation. Definitely tell the wife what's going on here. Don't keep secrets, and also being realistic about the fact that their whole entire life is going to change because they have messed up. So that is good. It seems as if they're not going to try and hide stuff, but they don't know like what the next step is. Again, not knowing the situation, not being able to provide specific advice, I would say, yes, discuss it with your wife. And if possible, try and do it in such a way that protects her and makes it evidentially apparent that she wasn't involved in the actual incident. Absolutely fucking make sure that she isn't involved after the fact, you know, accessory after the fact of the crime. Because it seems like there's been a crime committed here. We'll definitely lose a job if they don't go to prison. So I would say yes, tell your wife, but do it in such a way that absolutely fucking protects her, and then turn yourself in. 100% you have to turn yourself in, because it's not as if people aren't going to find out. Not only is it like the truth always comes out, but it seems as if this is something that just fucking happened. It wasn't something that was planned, so there's going to be evidence that's, you know, going to get discovered, and you don't want to wait until someone comes for you. Like, turn yourself in, explain the situation. Like, they're more likely to not necessarily be lenient, but more compassionate and understanding of what actually happened if you're proactive in turning yourself in, being completely honest about everything that happens. Obviously, you know, like problems with the justice system, etc. But if you do everything that you know is correct and right, then at least if and when it doesn't turn out that great for you, you'll know that you still did as much as possible the right thing that you could afterwards, once you were out of that situation. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, crime of passion and all that, but at some point I think you need to, you know, again, it's like the last one, you need to take responsibility. You need to understand what's happened here, and also understand the repercussions for the other people in your life, which it seems as if OP is going on a good track here. But yeah, shit, that seems like, oh my god, Jesus Christ. Shall we do one more? As I say, these videos are normally like super long. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention as well. So what I've been doing for my last few videos, because I've been trying to like reduce the maintenance and the effort required for videos for these channels, I was just directly live streaming the stuff and just like, it's out already, can't edit it. However, for this particular one, I'm using the same format, except I'm just recording it and then uploading it with edits after the fact, because I've noticed that YouTube really doesn't seem to promote live streams in the same way as they support that they promote uploaded content. And I have a suspicion, in case any of you are interested, I have a suspicion that it's because when you upload a video, they do pre-publishing checks to make sure that everything's okay, follows the guidelines, etc. Whereas for live streams, they basically have to trust you and hope that everything's okay until they do the checks, and then they start sort of back promoting it, which doesn't really get the same sort of traction. Okay, anyway, that's not really important, but I just like to explain things. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, so let's do one more. Co-workers told me I make the girls uncomfortable. That's probably going to be a big one, so let's try and keep it short. My friend always has comments about my boyfriend's appearance. That could be interesting. My friend always has comments about my boyfriend's appearance. She talks about his appearance, saying things like he's kind of short or she doesn't like his hair. When I tell her stories of him, and I sometimes say, she says, I think the I is a mistake. When I tell her stories of him, sometimes she says ew at him, and it's getting pretty annoying. She always rates him for some reason and says he's a 4 or something like that. I never say anything about her boyfriend, and it's starting to get pretty hurtful. Yeah, that's pretty fucking shitty. This person doesn't seem to have asked a specific question, but let's assume that they're asking for advice on what to do in this situation. Just going off the OP's posts and making a hell of a lot of assumptions, it seems as if the friend isn't really that good of a friend, or like certainly has a lot of issues within themselves, because I find that people who are super judgmental and mean about other people are also super judgmental and mean about themselves on the inside. And so they project that attitude and that meanness because they're not compassionate towards themselves. They're also not compassionate towards other people. So that's a complete assumption based on experience, that person probably isn't like feeling that good about themselves, which regardless of that, it doesn't mean that you can go and trash talk other people, be nasty about your friend's partner. That's not cool. Being like ew and rating him and stuff, being like, oh, he's short. I really don't get the height thing. Honestly, like I see it so much that like people who date men just are like so caught up about the height of the men. They really want them to be like 6 foot something. I've even seen someone say that 6'3" is short. That's not fucking short. And like even if someone is like below average height wise, like really, I mean, I get if it's a preference, but a lot of people are like, nah, absolute deal breaker. Don't even fucking talk at me. Don't look at me. Don't sense me in the room, you know, which I think is like really harsh. I don't understand it, but whatever. But yeah, to be honest, there's one of two things I would do. So if this person actually isn't really a good friend in the first place anyway, you know, if the relationship is sort of dwindling with the friend and you're not really that invested in keeping it going, to be honest, I would just slowly back away, and I would just kind of in my mind be like, you know what, I've had enough of you. If you message me, I'll message you back. If you invite me to something, depends if I want to go, but I'm not going to try and make an effort anymore. However, if that is a close relationship, if that is someone that OP wants to keep in their lives and that they generally value, except this is just like a shitty part of it, I would honestly have to just like, the next time they do it, just be like, look, what is going on here? Because every time I talk about my boyfriend, you're making comments like that. It's not nice, it's not called for, it actually hurts my feelings. So like, can you tell me what is actually going on? Why are you doing this? Hopefully the person will be like, wow, I didn't realize, like I was just kind of like having a bit of a joke, and then because I've done it so much it just became a habit. I'm sorry, I'll try and stop. Hopefully that's what happens, and then it's resolved. But if they're like, oh, what are you talking about? Don't be so serious, like it was just a joke, whatever, who cares, and they keep doing it, then I would revert again back to option 1. Like, this person clearly doesn't respect you or your feelings. Yeah, that's kind of shitty. This is interesting. This is the first time I've actually looked at the subreddit, just advice. I've looked at dating advice, relationship advice and stuff like that. This one is quite interesting. I feel like obviously there's more variety, it's not so specific, but also like some of them are quite serious, but I feel like more hard-hitting real life situations in a way, if that makes sense. I quite like this one, but yeah, as I say, let's keep this video, I mean not short by now, but shorter than the other ones that I normally do. Yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think about these 4 stories that we looked at today, what your advice to these people would be. Yeah, it's nice to be back. Hopefully I'll keep uploading here a little bit more regularly from now on, but let's see. Good if I do, it's okay if I don't. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a nice day, and I will see you next time. Bye. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye.